Essentially, you want to know how fast you can go and how fast your energy levels get depleted. What do you enjoy? When do you enjoy doing it? And when are you best in that environment and to do that task?
Hey everyone, welcome back to the program. I'm sitting here with Tasneem. Tasneem, thank you so much for being part of the program today.
Hi, Miguel. Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. For those who are not familiar with the work you're doing, let them know about yourself.
Well, I'm an authentic leadership coach, and I specialize working with introverts in helping them to step into their full authentic power so they can grow their career and lead powerfully.
I am not so much of an introvert, but I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think there's a spectrum of being an introvert, right? So there are those introverts that's like they want to be in a closet, and then those are those introverts that I'm okay in party gatherings, but I'd prefer not to. Am I right or wrong on that?
Well, so it's interesting you use the word "I'm not in the closet." So let's address the first part, which is the spectrum bit. So according to Myers-Briggs, yes, there is a spectrum and a lot of other personality tests if you're interested. Essentially, there are two main personality types. There's an extrovert and there's an introvert. And of course, there's a spectrum all the way from an extreme introvert to all the way to an extreme introvert and anywhere in between. Now, there is a middle ground, which is called an ambiverts. But even within ambiverts, there's always a tendency. Either you're more right-leaning, which is extrovert, or left-leaning, which is introvert.
Interesting. So how would you mentioned those testings, how would I be able to, maybe I think I'm somewhere in the middle, or maybe I think I'm the extrovert, or maybe I'm just the life of the party because I feel like, well, I have to turn on at this point and be that. But really Netflix and chill is my kind of jam. So how would I determine where I fall on this spectrum?
Okay, so I'm a big fan of MBTI, so Myers-Briggs profile. You can, it's a paid psychometric test. You can go ahead and take that. There's also a free test, which I absolutely love. Anyone can go on 16personalities.com and take that test. And it's pretty bang on. I've done a few of those, and I would say it's really good. So yeah, that should be a starting point.
Is there any particular, let's say, breadcrumb that I could pick up on right now and say, if you have XYZ, you most likely may be an introvert?
Yeah, there absolutely are. So let me start with the myth, and then I'll take you to the science. So one of the myths are that introverts are shy. And anyone who's shy, people assume they're introverts. Whereas shyness is actually an emotion, it's a feeling, it's not a trait. So it's an emotion that you can overcome because it makes you nervous around people, and therefore then step into your full potential and realize your personality type. Now, the traits that introverts have and how you would know whether you're an introvert or you're an ambivert leaning towards an introvert is that start focusing on your energy levels. How do you start the day? And then how do you end the day? That's probably the best way to sort of start noticing what your tendencies are. So extroverts, they start with high energy. Well, sorry, they start with low energy. And as they continue to interact in their environment with people, with maybe something that stimulates them, as their own individual selves, they'll keep building on that energy. Whereas introverts, they start their day on a like a glass full, basically full of energy. They tend to operate better in the mornings, and then as they continue to interact in their environment and with people, their energy starts depleting. And that's probably where I guide my clients, saying, okay, if you don't want to take personality tests, that's fine. But here's the first thing that you would notice. And, suddenly light bulbs start going on. Oh, right, I feel so tired in the evening, or today was my in-office day, and oh gosh, while traveling back, I just couldn't move. All the signs that, your energy has been depleted. Now you need to go home and replenish.
Typically, when a person is in leadership or in a business position, they are in service to people, so they have to engage with people. And so how do we manage to balance this? I am an introvert. I'd prefer being alone, but I also well, I also have to service people. I have to lead people. How do we find, and obviously, maybe that question is too broad because, as you mentioned, there's some pockets here that are specific. But is there any general strategy with reference to if you are an introvert and you find yourself in leadership? Here's kind of how to balance these out, or at least a starting point.
Okay. So another myth is that introverts don't like to interact with people, which is completely untrue. They do like to interact with people. The difference is, they cannot interact with people nonstop every single day. So as I said that, their energy levels get depleted. So there is a preference to recoup their energy and also be by themselves and do tasks that they can do by themselves. That, however, does not mean at all that they don't like talking to people, don't like socializing, don't being around them. So if you're in a leadership position, my advice would be, look, you're in a leadership position, you're in a prominent position, and there are people who are looking up to you. And therefore, there's certain, I would say, behaviors that you need to exhibit to motivate people, inspire them, and allow them to be their best selves. That's what a leader does. And therefore, you need to understand, how do you need to manage your diary? How do you want to, manage your meetings and interactions with people in a way that allows you to be your best self, and then also allows you to sort of step away and do your own thing by yourself? So, for example, you can have a lot of face-to-face meetings first thing in the morning. That's when your energy levels are high. You'll be probably your best self, whether, and that's face-to-face or over Zoom, however that works. And then what I would probably say is that, see how you feel. Perhaps you need a good lunch hour. You go for a walk, you do your lunch, and then, you're fine. But then for some other people, perhaps because they've had a full morning, they would prefer to put their heads down and work in the afternoon, and that's how it works. Now, the reality is that's an ideal world, right? That I only take morning meetings, and the afternoon I don't have any meetings. In reality, it really doesn't work that way unless you're the CEO, and even then I don't think it'll work. And therefore, I think that it is all about understanding. Essentially, you want to know how fast you can go and how fast your energy levels get depleted. What do you enjoy? When do you enjoy doing it? And when are you best in that environment and to do that task? If you can figure those three things out, your energy level, what you enjoy doing, and how engaged or how best you are yourself, then you can start understanding, right, so I've got an important meeting, I need to interact with my team, let me schedule that first thing in the morning, because that's when I can be more dynamic and more myself, and I can really, inspire people. End of the day, maybe not so good, because it's been a long day, my energy levels will be low, for example, or I might not be as confident and inspiring as I would like to be. So I think it really, really starts with understanding yourself first. Once you start understanding yourself, what energizes you, what motivates you, how do you perform, then you can start understanding, how do you want to lead? What kind of leader can you be? How will you show up in different settings and still be authentically true to yourself? I think that's really important.
Yeah, I love that, right? Because it's okay, I have a heavy meeting or I have a heavy morning. Well, let me line that up with my energy level. I was conversing with someone and they were talking about similar to what you're saying, where they understand, okay, in the mornings I'm great and at night I'm great, but the middle of the day I'm not so great. So they bulk their meetings. It's either early morning or late afternoon, but nothing in the middle. And that allows you that time to recharge and kind of recenter. In the beginning of the year, Tasneem, many individuals, they either set New Year's resolutions, which is these goals that they're going to accomplish throughout the year, or they set a one word, and this one word anchors everything that they're going to do for the year. I'm curious, in that particular spectrum, where do you lie? Are you more of a one word person, or are you more of a goal and New Year's resolution person?
So I'm just thinking, because I do set goals for myself, but I don't think that I'm the sort that if I don't achieve them, I'll be hard, because I know that there's, all right, so if I had to pick one, I would say I'm a one word person.
Okay. If you were to be able to set of one word for your life, this one word that encompasses your entire life's work, what would that one word be?
Believe. Believe in yourself, believe in the higher source, and believe in the people around you. There's a lot of power in that.
For those who are connected, Tasneem, and they want to get connected with you, how could they do so?
I would say reach out on LinkedIn. That's the best source. If you look up for Tasneem Ali, you'll find me. Yeah, I mean, I think LinkedIn is probably the best way. Or if you would like to directly get in touch to have a chat, you can email me at info@ferventliving.com.
Awesome. Tasneem, thank you so much for being part of the program.
Thank you, Miguel, for having me. I really appreciate it.